But what we're going to do now is I'm going to walk us through the install process and give my feedback on what I think about this windshield. So the install process is pretty simple. It's not complicated, with one caveat. I installed the roof first, and let me just tell you, if you're going to install a windshield after you've installed a roof, take your roof off. Really all you have to do if it's this roof is take this front piece off. But take the roof off. To install these hinges up at the top, you have to be able to get to the Torx bit that's on the top of them, and it's impossible with this roof on. I mean, I messed with it forever. Maybe it's in the video. I messed with it forever, couldn't get it. Decided to finally take the roof off. And the reason I didn't want to take the roof off is it's kind of a booger. You know, if you're by yourself, you don't have any help to get it slid all the way in and cinched up well. Nevertheless, took the roof off, and then it was so easy, of course, then to install the windshield. The first step of the whole thing, whether it's the roof or the windshield, is to do the prep, and they both come with these seal kits, and it's a bunch of rubber gaskets and things of that nature. The roof kit actually, or this windshield kit actually comes with some caulk. If you can tell that this seam, this A-pillar seam, is filled with caulk, and all that, I guess, prevents water from running into the cab and keeps you dry. So there's all these little seals, these little rubber seals. You can kind of see it poking out right there, and there's a bunch under this corner of the windshield. That's the first step. It's pretty self-explanatory. That part's easy. Then you get into the install itself. The first thing that they have you install is this little what do you call this thing? It's what this clips onto, obviously. So you install those on each side, and then you install the mounts. You install one first. It doesn't matter which side you do. You install one first, leave it loose, and then hold the window up. It slides into place, and then you come on to the other side and put the bracket onto the I can't think of what it's called. It's basically the same piece as that little gold thing I was showing earlier, but you slide it into place and then you attach it. It's two bolts that go in to this bracket from the top. They're Torx bits, and then you got your 1/2 inch nuts on the back side, lock nuts on the back side. So that's pretty easy. Then you hold the window up and you put the hydraulic arm in place, and so you get one locked in. Install the top one first, lift, and then clip in the bottom one. Then you do the other side. At this point, the window will hold itself open, and the last thing to install is the bracket that goes into the dash. You pull these two tabs out, these two rivets, plastic rivets out, and then this whole cup holder thing just slides backwards. There's a gold plate that installs underneath the dash. So alignment is key. You want to make sure that thing's centered. There's holes that are in the frame rail under the dash that it attaches to. And then you drill out this bracket that comes with the kit already has the 3 holes in it, but you drill through the holes through the dash so that these studs are these bolts are going into the mounting bracket that you installed. So it's very, 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 very secure. Okay, so now let's talk about how I feel about the windshield. I drove around yesterday evening with it, drove around a little bit this morning. What do I think about it? Well, it's a quality it's a quality accessory for sure. I got the glass version. Really glad I got the glass version. It's not going to get scratched. I've got some ideas for videos where maybe I'll put some Rain-X on this one side and see how that fares versus no Rain-X. We've also got a Can-Am that has windshield wipers on it, and so we'll be able to compare, you know, Rain-X versus windshield wipers. Is it worth it? But anyway, the accessory itself is really high quality. Not denying that. The fitment is really good. I like that a whole lot. Here's a critique that I have. And it has to do with the positioning. Now, I bought this windshield because it's got the 3 position option, if you will. And the 3 positions are completely closed. So we got it completely closed, it's sealed, nothing can get in. Water can't get in, air can't get through it. Then you got the second position that I just had it set in. Okay, so that leaves a little bit of a gap. And then you've got the total open position. All right, okay. Closed position and open position, good, perfect, exactly what you would expect. It's this middle position where the window's essentially cracked open that is one sort of so-so critique that I have. Now, I've been riding around in our Can-Am for months now, and it's got the same style windshield, 3-position glass windshield. But when you leave it cracked open in this position, the window is more like this. So it's about twice as far open as how this windshield is in its cracked open position. Now, you could say, well, that's just splitting hairs, but it makes a difference when you're out riding around. The way that this is cracked open right now, you barely get any sort of draft through. Now, I'm not looking for a windstorm to come through the thing. That's what you get when you've got it wide open. On a hot day, you can open this thing all the way up and you got good airflow, keeps you cool. But let's say it's a little cooler, but you still want a little bit of draft coming through, because draft helps keep the dust down. And so in this position, I mean, you can see that it's like barely off the hood, and the wind's just going to roll right up it. Whereas if it was open a couple more inches, we're going to catch some more air and it'd come through the cab a little more ideally. I'm jumping the gun a bit, and maybe it's wishful thinking, but I want to see if somebody out there has a 3D printer or something, and we can design a mounting bracket that moves this position forward a couple of inches. Maybe you can't because it's crowded right here. So then another option would be to put an extension on this that comes back a couple of inches. We get a longer bolt that goes through it. We should be able to unscrew that and be able to put this window in a 4th position, if you will. If not, just replace this entirely and make this middle position, like I said, about 3 inches farther forward so that we get a better draft out of it. Other than that, like I said, I really like the windshield. I'm happy with the purchase. It's not as good as the windshield on the Can-Am, but it's what is available. It's the best one available, and so it's what we'll deal with. We'll see if we can make that adapter on the handle, like I said, to change the position. That'd be something fun. So if you're a engineer, creator type out there, and you've got a 3D printer and you got some ideas, I love a good project and a good invention. So leave a comment or shoot me a message, send me an email. Let's see if we can figure something out. So that'll wrap up our windshield install. If you're thinking about getting a windshield, go for the glass one. Don't get the plastic one.